It's a happy
It is
Monday.
a happy Monday.
So, good afternoon. My name is Adam Ortiz. I'm proudly the Director of Prince George's County Department of the Environment. And I'm so pleased to see such a tremendous collection of fantastic people to celebrate a real milestone for Prince George's County, for the people of the county, but also for the cause of environmental stewardship. We're setting an example that the rest of the nation is watching closely. So here we are. This is the Western Branch Organics Composting Facility. It's evolved tremendously in the 5 years that I've been in this job. And we're going to talk a little bit about a new milestone that we're reaching today. We couldn't have done it alone. This milestone that we're reaching today will make Prince George's County the largest organics composting facility on the East Coast. We're so pleased, and this is a year that it's been announced that for the third year in a row, Prince George's County is #1 in the state of Maryland and the DMV region in waste diversion. And isn't it also true, Desmond Gladden and Marilyn Ryback, that we're also #1 in recycling as well? But we could have not done anything alone. This administration has been about partnerships, that we can promote the public good, but the public good requires engaging the public. The public good requires engaging our commercial businesses. Promoting the public good requires engaging the nonprofit sector, and everything has come together to really make magic happen over these years in Prince George's County. And that's the philosophy of our department, the Department of the Environment. It's also the philosophy of this county. And this county is led by a tremendous leader, so please join me in welcoming our county executive, Rushern Baker III.
I have to say, I told Adam I'm excited, and this is Adam's excited look. He is really, no, it is, I want to, the folks who have worked with Adam know exactly what I'm talking about. But I have to say this is the, I think the third one of the events we've done in a while, talking about the fact that Prince George's County not only leads in waste diversion and recycling, but to have the largest composting on the East Coast. I mean, just think about it for a minute. We didn't have a Department of the Environment 7 years ago. We weren't even in the conversation about the green economy and expanding it. And not only what we're doing to make the environment better, making our citizens safer and healthier, but the jobs that have been created out of this. And the fact that we've been able to work, as Adam has said, with nonprofits and the business community to expand opportunities that people in this county never thought were possible. And it's because we put good leaders in place. You know, Mr. Stanton, and giving Adam the ability to run the shop, Joe, and the rest of Adam's team who have done this, Denise, everybody who's come together in the Department of Environment in a short period of time with a small staff, and that's going to hurt me later on. But just think about what we've been able to do and the mindset we've been able to change in a county that wasn't thinking this way. In a county that now can go to our sister county in Montgomery County and talk about what we've done and the fact that they want to mirror us. To go around, yes. I'm excited because as I go around the state, and this, I mean this sincerely, as I go around the state, the first thing they want to talk about is what we're doing here at the Department of the Environment. That has never happened before. I'm in Western Maryland or Baltimore City or Baltimore County or the Eastern Shore. They're talking about Prince George's County and what we can do to lead the state. And I'll close with this, you know, just because I am really excited. And I said this a couple of times to Adam. To be in a meeting with county executives from across the nation And the outgoing administration, the Obama administration, having them do their last presentation, and they shoot up on the screen, unbeknownst to me, you know, and this was my presidency of the County Executive of America. Their Obama administration is giving this last presentation. They are going to highlight 3 areas across the nation that are doing it right. And I'm sitting there kind of playing with my iPhone like everybody else does. And it pops up and I hear Prince George's County, and I was like, oh my God. And I sit up, and they were talking about Adam Ortiz and what we're doing nationwide. This is the president administration talking about the county as an example first. And that's why this is so important, because you know what? It means the next administration coming in will understand how important the work that you are doing and how it's changed the community here and how we have to continue. We want to not just we're not satisfied with where we are today. We want to get better and better and be a bigger example and expand more, and to take these across not just the state but across the nation. And I'm so pleased as county executive to be here today, to be part of this and to see us grow. With that, I think I've got a special presentation, which Adam doesn't notice this coming. I'm not going to read it all because I know but I do want to read some parts of it. Whereas Prince George's County is recognized in innumerable benefits, composting is expanding to infrastructure of food scrap composting system to process 32,000 tons of food scraps combined with yard trim to produce rich soil and gold leaf and in our landfill. And therefore, I, Rushern L. Baker III, County Executive for Prince George's County, do hereby congratulate Prince George's County Department of the Environment as you celebrate Composting Week's achievement. We have never done that for a department at one of these groundbreakings. This is the first time. That's how important this is.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. I'll try not to boo-hoo into the microphone. Appreciate it tremendously. But it's absolutely been a team effort. We have a lot of our team today, and we have a long program, but the speakers have all promised to be short. But we have a long program because there's so many partners that have made all this success possible. You know, everything is a team effort, particularly here in our expansion and becoming the largest facility on the East Coast. We have a tremendous partnership in the Maryland Environmental Service. So the Maryland Environmental Service, MES, is a quasi-state agency. They provide services throughout the state on solid waste and waste diversion. And early on, they were looking around the curve and were anxious to expand our organics facility here. So you see, this is a pretty big piece of property. There's an awful lot of material. A lot of the stuff that you see over to your left is it is yard trim. So this is Mondays. Everything is picked up from the curb: leaves, weeds, Christmas trees after Christmas time, and they run this huge facility. But they embraced food scraps. We know that more than 30% of everything that's going to the landfill today is organic food waste, and that we could bring that into this facility as well. And they have embraced the technology. They have advised us, and they operate this facility every single workday. They face customers, they work with businesses, and they produce the award-winning product Leaf Grow and Leaf Grow Gold. So please join me in welcoming Beth Whiten, Deputy Director of MES, who's going to make some remarks.
Pleasure to be here today, and we are so excited to be part of this and to be a partner with Prince George's County. Amazing. They're innovative, creative, want to do the right thing, and they get it done, and we get that, and we love that. As Adam said, MES is a self-supporting independent state agency. We combine the public sector's commitment to the environmental protection along with the private sector's flexibility and responsiveness. We have over 800 employees working on about 1,000 projects throughout the state of Maryland. In Prince George's County, we're particularly proud of our work at the organics composting facility at Brown Station and also at the materials recycling facility. MES has operated the county's organics composting facility since 1990, and during that time, since that time, we're diverting 40,000 cubic yards per year from Brown Station landfill. That's amazing. The yard waste and food waste since 2005 totals over 600,000 cubic yards. At this facility, MES produces Leaf Grow and Leaf Grow Gold. Leaf Grow is a superior quality compost used extensively by the landscape industry and homeowners as a source for soil improvement. It's a spectacular product, and we're just happy to be part of that. It's an outstanding example of recycling at its best. Leaf Grow, by composting leaves and grass clippings that would normally have been disposed of in a landfill, Prince George's County and MES convert organic waste into a valuable resource. Leaf Grow Gold is created by composting a mixture of yard waste and food scraps diverted from regional landfills. Prince George's County leads the state of Maryland with food waste composting, particularly given the recently approved $5.8 million expansion of the Gore composting system here at Western Branch. This expansion will allow for the processing of 30,000 tons per year of food waste once construction has been completed in July. Again, thank you for allowing us to be part of your success. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Beth. We have a lot of tremendous members of the MES team here today. If you found your way to this corner of the facility, you did it with the assistance of the flaggers that are on the MES team. I see Randy and Steve in the audience. Can every member of the MES team please step forward into view and raise your hands or stand up so we can acknowledge your service. So the next person I'm going to invite up, I've developed a good relationship with for a long time. Everything is a partnership, and one of the reasons we're able to process so much material so efficiently is by using technology from the Gore company. Has anybody heard of the Gore company? Has anybody heard of Gore-Tex? Has anybody heard of a rain jacket that breathes that doesn't get you wet? Okay, well, you can thank the Gore company and the Gore-Tex company for that tremendous technology. Well, what we see over to your left, my right, is actually a big jacket for composting. It's not dissimilar from the type of product that you can buy REI. But we've been able to work with the company and design that system and the new system, which is going to be described to you soon, by our friends, who's a tremendous resource. Scott Woods with Sustainable Generation will tell us a little bit more about the system. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Mr. Baker, you should be very proud of your team here and everything they've accomplished. We're grateful to have a good working relationship and a strong rapport with both Prince George's County and Maryland Environmental Services. We have been working closely as a team from the very beginning to introduce and master food waste composting here at the Western Branch facilities. In fact, just a little fact, it was 5 years ago this month that we first started the food waste pilot project, and what we really did there was working together. We went from developing end-to-end process from source separation to collection to transportation to processing and then distributing the final product. And I can say we service all of North America, and we have projects all over. When county or municipal governments say, how do we get started? I always say, why don't you look at what Prince George's County did? Why don't you go out and visit them, because they have done it right. So good job. we have come, today is a very proud day for all of us as we break ground on this full-scale facility, one that has no equal on the East Coast as of today. Now there's some stuff coming, and I always like to say you guys are going to have the most modern facility in the world, and by our standards, for a while, but the next one we build after is going to even be better. But for right now, I think you're going to have bragging rights for a year or two. All right. We've come a long way since we started in 2013 with the pilot scale SG mobile systems with Gore covers, which you see over there as a demonstration project, pilot project. During the pilot project, we tested the system's 8-week performance versus the original 8-month process using the open windrow turning system. The system here, the incremental volume will allow us to process an additional 45,000 tons per year of yard waste and food scraps and provide many benefits, both economic and environmental. This type of system allows for the composting of a greater volume on a smaller footprint with low energy consumption, freeing up space at this facility for future uses. The SG bunker design provides a clear separation of leachate from stormwater to prevent groundwater contamination by capturing and reusing the leachate in the process to protect the precious Chesapeake ecosystem. The Gore cover technology will enable us to meet an even higher level of environmental compliance with in-vessel performance and without the high cost of enclosed buildings and biofilters. The turnkey solution is designed to create ideal composting and pathogen reduction conditions within the piles while efficiently reducing odors and other emissions such as dust and volatile organic compounds. Finally, an employment statistic which we all can be very proud of, and I can tell you this SG team is really proud of this one. Our minority business enterprise goal for this project are 40% for the county, 29% for the state, and we achieved an overall 45%. Our joint success is a result of strong teamwork. We'd like to recognize our SG partners. First, we have WL Gore and Associates, who's the supplier of the Gore cover, and I'm the surrogate Gore person, our Gore representatives in Germany this week on some other business. So we normally be Brian Fuchs here. We have the SCS Engineers is providing engineering design services, and I know Mike, and I don't know who else is here, stand up. Mike's representing SCS. Our good friends and partners, Edis Company, is providing construction management services. Could the Edis team stand up, be recognized? And I'd be remiss if we didn't recognize MES, who's been a great partner on this project. And I just want to say, I think Randy Bolt runs one of the finest facilities in the country. This is always top-notch, it's clean. And Stephen Birchfield is by far one of our better operators, and he's done a great job in the last 5 years, so good job, Steve. We'd like to also recognize the subcontractors involved in the project, including Prince George's County Tow Bar, who's doing all the a big part of the construction, and Coastal Technology Services. And at Sustainable Generation, just want to close by saying we're guided by one principle, which is right for the environment, right for business. It's gratifying for all of us from all the entities involved in the project to experience this principle in action here at Prince George's County. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. I want to recognize a composting pioneer also, and a colleague who heads the Soil Conservation District. Director Steve Darcy is here in the back. Steve and the Soil Conservation District are sort of our counterpart in the rural part of the county, and his compost mostly involves manure. So I'm going to stick with. Appreciate Scott's comments. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of work that went into this facility, not just the design and construction, which is a big deal, but also getting the numbers right and negotiating the right size and the right growth. So I want to recognize Joe Gill, our Deputy Director, who worked very closely. I want to recognize Lee Flick, who is the head of the Resource Recovery Division. This division, Lee is in the back. Thank you, Lee, for your leadership. And I also want to thank my boss, Barry Stanton, for making this happen. Thank you, Barry. So, like I said, this is a partnership. We have a long list of folks who bring their material to us. We have 30 haulers who bring it to us. Some of them are big companies, some of them are small mom and pops, some of them are municipalities that load up compost in the back of a truck and drive it over here and tip it. And we have been maxed out for several years, and our waiting list has grown from 5 to 10 to 15 to 25 to now more than 30 customers who want to come and bring their material to us. Interestingly, folks have to pay for an additional service usually to have their compost brought. So businesses, already have their recycling taken away and they pay for that. They have their waste taken away and they pay for that. But folks are paying extra to have their food compost taken away because they care that much about it and because it's cheaper to tip it here than at the landfill. So we're so pleased to have that growing customer base and future partners and clients, and I want to invite one of them to the stage now. We have everything from small businesses and municipalities to homeowners to major institutions. So raise your hand if you've heard of the Smithsonian Institution. Anybody heard of the Smithsonian Institution? We're so pleased, and please join me in welcoming from the Smithsonian Folklife Festival, Justin Hensley, to say some words about our partnership.
Thank you, Adam, and thank you all for being here today. The Folklife Festival is an international exposition of living cultural heritage that takes place annually on the National Mall. We were founded in 1967 and we're considered the nation's museum without walls. With this, we attract between 500,000 and 1 million visitors to our site each year, and we showcase the traditions of different groups of people. These groups are anything that binds them together, whether it be the nation they're from, the state they're from, the languages they speak, or an occupation they practice. And for 4 decades, we frankly struggled to deal with all of the waste that our festival generated. In the recent model of the festival, we're open for 2 weeks at a time, and we generate anywhere between 30 and 45 tons of waste. And the scene on our site used to frankly be abhorrent. Styrofoam containers from concessionaires overflowed our trash cans. Recycling simply wasn't happening. In 2007, we finally put our foot down and started to make some change. And by we, this was really led by an anthropologist from the Museum of Natural History, Eric Hollinger. Eric Hollinger works in the repatriation office, but also spreads his duties across the institution, making sure that not only artifacts get to their rightful place, but our waste stream is diverted appropriately, and we get our waste to the appropriate place as well. He was also joined by Ivan Graff, the head of the Smithsonian Facilities Recycling Task Force, to help move us forward. We didn't really make a leap until 2013, and in 2013 we piloted our composting program. And now you'll see that it coincides with the development of composting facilities in the area, this being one of them. Our composting in 2013 succeeded at diverting 74% of our tonnage from the landfill, and that was simply the beginning. In 2014 to 2017, our resource recovery program managed to divert anywhere between 89 and 93% of our waste from the landfill. In 2014, that's represented by 24 tons of compost. 20 tons of compost. In 2016, we did drop to 15, and last year came back to 17. And I'll come back to those numbers because there's an important detail there. All of this diversion is possible due to these facilities. Additionally, 300 to 350 tons of food waste come from our museum's 4 largest restaurant operations. Those are at Natural History, American History, the Museum of African American History and Culture, and the National Museum of the American Indian. All of those come here. For the last 4 years, we've had this program grow to allow several interns to come through this process, learn about the program, and take composting and waste management practices back to their universities and to their communities. And this education component brings me to some accolades for Stephen Birchfield and his team particularly. Steve and his team have literally opened the doors of this facility for the Smithsonian in multiple ways. We've received generous off-hour support to allow our hauler to come here on weekends and on holidays, which makes our festival possible. We would literally have piles of compost on July 4th if it wasn't for Steve driving over here on himself, open it up and allowing our hauler to come through and tip. He also takes his personal time to come work with our festival volunteers and help communicate the importance of composting to the community. Our resource recovery stations don't only serve as a point of collection, but also as a point of education. And that education is based on a lot of material and information that our volunteers receive from Steve. So backing up to that shift in numbers. We collected less compost in 2016 and 2017, and that's due to our concessionaires moving some of their restaurant operations off-site. When they use their kitchen facilities that they know versus the kitchen facilities that we build for them, we don't have our hands directly on that waste stream, which I hope highlights the important nature of this facility and the hidden kind of waste that is generated by a lot of operations like festivals. It's that behind-the-scenes food scrap generation that really needs support, and I certainly hope the increased capacity of this facility quickly sees trucks bringing food scraps from more and more restaurants, kitchens, and homes, and can clear that wait list that you all have growing. And we'll certainly continue to send our waste your way too. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Justin. We welcome our expanding partnership, and we really appreciate you being here today. We're really excited. We have so many good customers. We also have partnerships with businesses you may have heard of. If you've heard of Whole Foods, we get their material here. If you've heard of 8 O'Clock Coffee, great Prince George's County business, we get their material here. We get it from a whole bunch of municipalities, including Greenbelt and Hyattsville and Mount Rainier. And we also get it from a handful of civic associations and homeowner associations, and I won't spoil the surprise on that because we have a speaker a little bit later on, Belinda Queen, who will tell us a little bit more about that program. But we're so pleased to have the partners, because without you, we couldn't get the work done, and we couldn't be diverting as much as we do. One of our great partners is also an intergovernmental partner. I'm so pleased to welcome Phil Wilson, who's a landscape supervisor for the Maryland Park and Planning, Maryland National Capital Area Park and Planning Commission. So Phil, please join us at the microphone here and share with us our partnership.
Good morning, everybody. I've been with the commission about 28 years. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we use the product for. We have sustainable gardens at the schools in Prince George's County, so we put the products in there. We have community gardens throughout the county. We give them leaf grow every year to put into their garden plots and use it. We also have a dredging project at Bladesburg Marina, where we get all the dredging. We bring that back to our maintenance facility, and we add the horse manure that comes from the Showplace Arena, the park police, all of that. So we compost and do a little bit of that stuff, and it goes back into our ball fields and things like that. So it's a great product. The gold is even getting better. If we could get more people to do the recycling and everything, if you ever get a chance to go to a green school and just learn about it, it's a very eye-opening experience. It needs to start at a younger age for everybody, because if we were doing it a lot longer, we'd be a lot farther ahead of it. But we have a great thing going on. Everybody keep innovating and keep it going. All right?
So thank you so much for that. And Phil is another speaker to mention Leaf Grow Gold. And for those of you who aren't familiar, it's a super duper product. It's the bomb. It's the bomb. So I'm going to geek out a little bit with folks about what Leaf Grow Gold is. So for decades, we've been creating Leaf Grow. Raise your hand if you've heard of Leaf Grow.
And thank you, Phil.
And thank you. Another round of applause for Phil. So Leaf Grow is a product that we make. Montgomery County makes it too, in partnership with the Maryland Environmental Service. It's a product that's made from yard trim. It's a soil amendment, or basically a compost that's used throughout the region, and it's recognized as really the best of its kind for landscapers and gardeners. And that's the material that's made out of what you see over here. It's also available in stores throughout the region. Montgomery County also makes it, and they bag it. So if you go to a Lowe's or a Home Depot or an Ace Hardware, a local nursery like Benke's, great county business, you'll find it on the shelves as well. It's the same type of thing. But Leaf Grow Gold is the 2.0. It's the super duper. It's the next version, and that is made by mixing the yard trim, which is a carbon-based material, with the food scraps, which have more nitrogen in it. And by having that balance of carbon and nitrogen, it creates a better soil amendment, which grows stuff better and faster. So it's a great material. It's in high demand, and we've been expanding this program from just a few piles here to double the amount of piles, and now over here, and we're going to continue to sell out before the end of the summer. So it's a super exciting time. I want to also acknowledge Nancy Faulkner, who's here in the audience. So you're our seller primarily on the market. So thank you, Nancy, for everything that you do with Maryland Environmental Service. So to talk about the product a little bit more, I want to invite two friends to the microphone from the University of Maryland. University of Maryland was our first major institutional partner, and without their partnership, both on the receiving end and on the material use end, we wouldn't have had the success that we've had. So to tell us more about it, please join me in welcoming Guy Kilpatrick from the Terp Farm and Allison Lilly Jaden with University of Maryland Dining Services to talk more about our partnership.
Hi there, everybody. It is so great to be here. We have been out to visit the team here a number of times each year because Steve opens his arms and welcomes us every year to bring tours, visitors, students to learn about this amazing program. And Guy and I represent the University of Maryland Dining Services, where we are feeding. We've got 9,000 students that live with us on campus and eat with us every day, about 30,000 meals a day on campus that our team prepares, and all of the food waste from that operation comes here to the facility. And we're one of the first and have been so thrilled to be a part of this process and watch this grow. We also have the unique opportunity through our partnership with the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources to then utilize that finished product, that Leaf Grow Gold, at our Terp Farm. And so we have been really proud to tell students about that story, to invite Steve to campus to help us tell students about that story, and then to grow vegetables and flowers that we serve and sell on campus to connect our students with this type of wonderful sustainability initiative. And Guy's going to tell you a little bit about what we do at the Terp Farm and share with you some of the plants that we brought today.
I was hired in 2014 to essentially launch the farm. So it started from scratch in 2014, and we're a sustainable farm, and so environmental sustainability is a big part of that. So we operate the farm much in the way that, in the sort of realm of organic farming. And my background is in organic farming, and what I was taught was to sort of follow the 3 C's of sustainable agriculture, which are to use lots of cover crops, to rotate your crops, and to use compost. So a big question that I had to solve as soon as I was hired was, where do we get our compost from? Because I can't make it from scratch at the scale that I need. And it was just very fortunate that right at that time, Allison and Stephen were getting together and starting to figure out some of the logistics around moving the food waste from campus to here. And then Stephen was also looking for someone to kind of pilot the product and actually use it. So we were one of the first to actually take the product from this facility and to use it in production. And what I found immediately, because I've used Leaf Grow, the original Leaf Grow product, for a long time, what I found immediately was the kind of growth response that we would get from the crops that we were producing after using this product, but primarily in how it interacts with the soil, because it's a very active, microbially active product, and it stimulates soil biology, which really is the foundation for organic agriculture. So we're just so excited to be able to get this product and use it and talk about it with the students, and then talk about what it's like to actually close the organic loop from production to consumption and back to composting and then back to production. So we brought sunflowers that we started on the farm using this product, which we're going to hand out. They're just seedlings. We'll hand them out. You can take them at the end. And then also, just for your own entertainment, I brought a bucket of compost that I had filled months and months ago and just set in a corner of the greenhouse. You can see the tomatoes just growing out of it, and I've literally just watered them today, and that's the first time I've touched them. So, you know, just a little demonstration of how quality this product is. Anyway, thank you for having us out.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your partnership. One partnership that I like to brag about is another purchaser of the material is the architect of the Capitol. So if you don't know who the architect of the Capitol is, they do the landscaping and grounds for federal facilities, particularly the Capitol and the White House. And our material went to Turp Farm and grew stuff there. But also, while it was around, it went to Michelle Obama's vegetable garden of the White House. So everybody here participating helped Michelle advance her initiative with healthy foods and keeping people moving and healthy, and that's it's just a tremendous anecdote about how interconnected and how important it is, regardless of whatever small action it is. A student who decides to compost something or to throw it in the trash can make a difference, you know, far beyond where they are. I also want to talk about the economics a little bit. So in the waste stream, why is the waste stream so important? For a number of reasons. Environment, of course, consciousness, you know, being mindful of our actions and that everything we do has an impact, but also money. So anytime we put anything into the landfill, does it make money or lose money? Does it make money or lose money? Lose money. And that loss is paid for by the taxpayers. When we recycle, do we make or lose money? Scott, no nuanced answers allowed. Overall, it makes money. Overall, it makes money. And when we compost, do we lose or do we make money?
Make money.
We make money. We make money. So the more material that we're able to put into diversion, the more that we're making money, and we're putting less of a burden on the taxpayers. So that's such an important thing. A few people I want to acknowledge that have helped get those numbers right. I want to acknowledge Marilyn Ryback, who's the new head of our Resource Recovery Division. And I think, Marilyn, is this your first public event as Resource Recovery Division Associate Director?
I believe it is.
It is.
Because unfortunately I missed the opening of the materials recycling facility, but I heard it went extremely well. So thank you for those of you who attended that event over at our recycling facility in Capitol Heights recently.
So thank you, Marilyn. Congratulations. I want to also recognize April Ayala Wilson. So she oversees our collection contracts, which is kind of a big deal, and if that didn't go right, we wouldn't be getting recycling and material in our facility. So thank you, April. Super tough job. And I also want to recognize Desmond, who you met at the last event, but Desmond oversees our recycling operations. So thank you, Desmond Gladden. So it's important to get material out into the community, people buying it, but it's also important to get material in. We have a lot of partners, but we do love our native Prince George's County partners the most. And our family here in Prince George's County that's bringing material to us continues to grow and grow and grow. Earlier this year, under the leadership of a team member, Denise Curry, and Denise, there you are, raise your hand, Denise. We've launched another major innovation in the region in a curbside organics compost pickup. Pilot program. She wants me to emphasize pilot program. Okay. So noted. It's a pilot program. So we're still in the pilot phase, and we're learning some stuff, but overall it's going really well. To your right, you see these two green receptacles. One of them is a toter, and it's a smaller toter than some of the other material, but in that toter you can put your yard trim or food scraps, and it's picked up in the pilot areas on Mondays, and that material comes over here. And the little bin on top is a countertop bin, where in the kitchen, as you're eating your bananas or cutting up your vegetables or what have you, you can put that material in there and then put it out to the curb, whether in that receptacle or in the bigger one, and we'll pick it up and bring it here. And we have one of our participants here to share some of her experiences and talk about it. Belinda Queen has way too many titles and way too many local leadership roles for me to mention, but everybody, if you don't know Belinda, you will in time. Belinda, I want to welcome you up here to tell us a little bit about your participation.
Greetings, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It's a great day in Prince George's County, right, County Executive? All right, y'all. So I'm going to talk about the pilot program a little bit, and I just want to let you know, Prince George's County went to one trash day a week. And I was one of the residents who was very, 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 very unhappy about that. Because I have a bunch of kids. Anybody know me? I'm the mother of 3. I have 9 stepchildren and 11 foster kids. So that means I have a bunch of grandkids. Like this weekend I had 10 kids. So I have a lot of trash. So on a daily week, my trash cans, I had 5 cans going out twice a week. And now you want to go to once a week? No, no, no. So I was very, very upset about that. So as time went on and it came, and I have to be honest, I was not good at recycling. But then Denise came to me, my lifesaver. Somebody I went to school with, I wouldn't have tried it with anybody, and I work for Verizon, I'm very diverse, learned to think outside the box. And I had to remember the story and the training we had on Who Moved My Cheese. And if anybody know that, I had to put that back in my spirit, who moved my cheese when it came to this trash. So when she came to me about the pilot program for compost, I was like, who has time? Do you know how busy I am? But we tried it. I was one of the first one to raise my hand. You know what? Who moved my cheese? We're going to do this. We're going to try this. And I tried it. And let me tell you guys, after trying it for the first week or 2, I went to a half a can of trash to 3 bags of recycles and compost. Big difference. And then when she stressed to me how we were making leaf gold and we were doing something positive, I really felt good about it. And getting my kids to understand that it's a big difference. So I had to learn, and I want to say to you guys, we got to remember it's not about us. Sometimes it's about someone else, and although sometimes we don't want to do things, we have to do it because it's blessing someone. I may not be a person who likes to recycle, or I don't see the blessing in planting, but it's a blessing to someone else. And I had to learn that it's not about me. I'm doing this because I'm blessing someone else. I thought outside the box, and the program has worked great. And it's been a blessing in Prince George's County, and that's the most thing. So it's a great day in Prince George's County.
Thank you, Brenda. Yeah, so we do have that on video, and we're going to put that on a loop on the county main website, on the landing page, the homepage, over and over. So thank you, Belinda Queen. We love you. We appreciate you. And thank you so much for your support in working with us. And thank you for letting us move your cheese. So we're about to wrap up the program, but I didn't want to do that without some more acknowledgments. Henry Ellis is in the back. Henry, raise your hand. Please turn around and acknowledge Henry Ellis. Henry brings out folks from his unit in the Resource Recovery Division to help out with all of these events that we have. So I want to thank you, Henry, and also want to thank Billy. Billy Dove is back there, and Herbert High is around here someplace. Herbert, there he is. Thank you, Herbert, and thank you, Billy. We always appreciate you all getting up early, working late, and making sure that our events go smoothly. Couldn't thank you enough. So this is the cool part, or even cooler part. So we're going to get a little bit of a tour about what you see in front of you. So this is sort of the older system and how it works. Behind that is the older system. And over here is the newest system. I'm going to ask Steve Birchfield to make his way up to the front. Steve gives this is a free tour, but we should charge for it because he's so good at it. But Steve, and this is his first time in a tie, is going to take us on a tour and show us around. And Steve, I'll give you the microphone and pass it off to tell us what to do next. But before we go, I'd like to thank every single person who's come out here in support. I want to thank every single person who did not come out and support these efforts. that we're doing on behalf of the people of Prince George's County. And for anyone we didn't recognize or any business or organization, please accept our deepest gratitude. And with that, please a round of applause for everybody who helped get us to this point today. So Steve, what are we going to do next? All right, thank you for that awkward interruption. So we're going to do a little photo op. Thank you, Linda. That was mildly embarrassing. We're going to do a little thing. Is that still running, by the way? Cut that before we put that on the homepage. So we'll do that. But before we do that, Steve, so we're going to meet up with Steve after that thingy, and then Steve will take us around. Thank you, everybody.